So it's recently come to my attention that I am posting my videos in too many locations and that I'm spamming people. The problem with that is that art, in its definition, is already spam. Everything in the arts is a ploy of some form or another, whether that be the most base commercial that's telling you to buy a used car because whatever reason you need a car or that you're inadequate or whatever, to something telling you something deep about the human experience. It's trying to sell that to you. Everything in art is trying to sell that to you. And the idea that there is art out there that isn't trying to sell you anything, one, doesn't exist, and two, doesn't make money. What I am doing here on YouTube is very simple. I'm trying to get views. Now, don't get me wrong, in getting views, I'm trying to give information back. I'm trying to give you a product. I actually care very much so that you get information out of this that is helpful to you. I'm trying to give you a return on your investment, which is your time. You clicked on my video. Thank you very much for doing so. I also understand that my video, my talent, my explanations, my demeanor, my looks, whatever might not be for everyone. I'm not here trying to be for everyone. I'm trying to be a little bit self-serving while also, creating some quality for you, the viewer. But I do want something in return. I want your views, which will eventually get my channel monetized, which I will get paid for. Also, I'm trying to sell my website. I want you to click on it because I want you to hire me. Because what I do is I make art, I make videos, I make social media, I make pictures, I make product photography pictures, I make websites. Each and every single one of those ventures is designed to bring eyeballs in and sell you something, whether that be your time, whether that be stick around long enough for more ads. You probably watched an ad before the video started, right? Like that's just understood where we are. So this idea that there was a couple of people who didn't like me, so they said, this guy's posting everywhere. He's obviously spam. Of course I'm spam. Everyone is spam. I want you to see my video. I'm trying to put it in different photography sites. Specifically, in this case, I was talking about the GR, so I went to GR sites. And because the video is about GR, in order for you to be in the GR community Facebook group, you have to like GRs. Like, it's a built-in audience. So I went to all the GR sites because I also am a GR enthusiast, and I posted my opinion piece about GRs to those sites because I figured that was a good way to find an audience for what I was talking about. Makes perfect sense. But the idea is because I went to 3 or 4 of these groups, there's only 3 or 4 that exist. GR is not that popular, by the way. So because I posted on 3 or 4 of these sites, I was therefore spamming all these accounts as if there was no value in what I was doing. Also, the other mention was because I'm a talking head, I didn't put the time and attention into my video that he expects. And there's 2 things to this. One, of course I went to 3 or 4 different sites. Like, the idea that I would post in one and that's it. Like the idea that any celebrity. Here's the thing. I understand that there are celebrities who do really well on one site. Like, I would imagine like James Woods. Great on Twitter. He's very witty. He's a very intelligent person. I can't imagine that he would do as well on Instagram. It's not that James Wood is any less great. It's just that most of his Instagram would probably be reposting his Twitter X stuff because he's a witty person. He's a better writer than he is, selling TNA, for example. The girl who's great at TNA on Instagram might not do well trying to actually, eloquate herself on Twitter. The idea that you're going to be great across platforms is hard. So the people who are only on one platform typically, generate towards that platform. But the idea that you would only ever choose one, that this is the true art form, that this is the one group that I can post to. So therefore, if you post to multiple groups, you're spamming the audience rather than the other word for spam is promote, to market. So the idea that, one, I'm way more popular and getting way more views, and my videos are doing well, largely because of my haters, but you have somebody, well, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it correctly. It's all these losers and people who want to consider themselves the victims of like, why on earth would you dare put that stuff out there in so many different places? Well, one, I want the feedback, right? Like you don't like my talking head. You don't like something about like the more videos and the more views I get, the more feedback that I get, the more practice that I get making these videos. The other thing is the reason why I'm doing a talking head is because I'm trying to sell me, Joseph Parker. That's me. Hello. Because I'm the person you're going to be working for. Like I'm trying to sell you on my business that I know what I'm talking about and that I know what I'm doing. Now I'm not saying that I'm going to be a talking head trying to create videos for your company. That's not what I'm saying at all. However, if you're hiring me, you probably should have some sort of idea of who you're talking to so that when I'm me on the phone, because that's the only person I can be on the phone, you call me up and you're like, hey, I really want some photography done. I really want somebody to help me brand my company. This is who you're dealing with. This is me. Hello. Nice to meet you. Um, so yeah, there's that. There's also the idea that I don't want to create very easy sellable videos in the sense what I'm selling is anti-AI. It's anti this mass production of media, which I think people are getting tired of. Now, it's really easy to turn your brain off and watch those types of videos that are just mass produced and they say nothing and they're copy paste of something else, but then they put like AI music over it and whatever. It's not what I want to do. In fact, I'm against that idea generally. So saying something that's stripped down and human on the other side and relying on the idea that one, I can speak pretty well. Two, like I know what I'm talking about. Like obviously if you're listening to me, you can kind of appreciate that I have some sort of know-how. But three, like this is a human interaction. A lot of here's the thing, like and again, like I'm not here to criticize anybody. If you don't like me, I tend to not do well with younger people. I'm 40 years old or about to be. And there's some tweens, some 22-year-olds that I do not get along with because not only am I 40, I was raised by my grandparents who were World War II vets. So like I'm as old school as it gets. So the idea that I'm going to have something in common, the 20-year-old probably not going to happen. The other thing is I'm trying to do business to business. So most 20-year-olds don't have their own business. And the ones that do are looking for mentors. They're not little shits who are like, oh my God, you're posting to too many places. I keep seeing you and I don't want it. It's really simple. If you don't like my content, don't click on it. It's really, really simple. However, for the rest of us, the people who are wanting to sell their business, the people who are wanting, you're going to go out there, you're going to put your stuff out there. You're going to, some of it does better. And then you look at which videos do better. You look at which algorithms do better. And then you make more of that and you copy and you repeat. But this idea of spam, like, oh, you're spamming people, you're putting stuff out there. I can't know whether you are going to like my video or not because the reality is when I look at the likes and I look at the ratio between likes and dislikes, I'm hitting about 66%. So 2/3 of you like me. So those of you who don't like me, that's fine. You don't have to like me. But there's 2/3 of you that do, right? Like that's a fair assessment. Like that's just across the board, and they don't show the like dislike ratio for reasons we're not going to get into. But nobody's universally loved. Nobody, especially when they're starting out and they're promoting and they're trying to attract new eyeballs. And some people who are the new eyeballs, they click and they like, and some they don't. And that's perfectly fine. Like again, like I'm not complaining for anybody who doesn't like me because chances are you've already clicked off. But the idea that you shouldn't be trying to promote yourself, that you shouldn't be trying to grow, that you shouldn't be trying to put yourself out there is the mindset of failure. It's stay in your lane. Do like you're allowed to do this and whatever because that's all the self-programmed ideas of like this is what I've been taught and this is what I'm doing and this is what I like and whatever and they never grow. There's no growth to that kind of mentality. You have to put yourself out there. You have to throw yourselves things and some things are going to fail. But this idea that because I've never failed means that I'm better than people who have failed instead of realizing that the people who do the best in life are the ones that have failed the most because they've tried a lot of different things and then they figured it out. And just because something failed, a few years ago, the world's changing so fast right now. You have to keep being committed to failing and to keep trying and pick yourself up and try something different. So this idea. There's no such thing. A movie, right? That you're selling ideas, you're selling stories, but you're also selling the product. You're selling people a ticket, right? That hopefully they like the movie, they like your. So you can sell them T-shirts, you can sell them merchandise, sell them toys. Television shows the same thing. They're trying to sell you a story so that you show up and watch the commercial, right? To sell you soap or medicine or whatever ads are on television these days. Art, like an art thing, to show up in an art gallery. So this idea that you should just not promote your art, like the idea that you're going to create this art gallery that people are supposed to be amazed by, but only the in group of people, only the people you've decided are worthy. You've just had a failed business venture. Like you're an elitist who doesn't want to sell your art. Like this is supposed to be a photographer community, and I'm being told that you're not allowed to promote yourself. You're not supposed to promote yourself. You're not supposed to get your message out. You're not supposed to promote your work. Okay, go look at your own photos in your mom's basement.